Oh man, having some technical difficulties again. I'll tell you, I really get frustrated with technology. I like using technology, but I get frustrated with it, and I've had this experience. And you talk to I talk to people who are quote unquote experts, and even they don't know. This stuff has gotten so complicated now, nobody knows anymore. And I won't lay my, well, I guess I am laying my problems on you. I won't lay any more of my problems on you, but I'm frustrated. But actually, that kind of ties into what I want to talk about for a moment here today. When bad things happen or disappointing things or troubles, not minor things, real troubles, real difficulties, when this happens, it's so easy to get discouraged. I know. Believe me. Believe me, I know. And there's this passage of Scripture. It's found in the book of Genesis, chapter 50. It's part of the story of Joseph. You've heard of not Joseph, who was Jesus' earthly father, the other Joseph. Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, that Joseph. And and it's a wonderful story. I just got a message here from someone. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this line is in the story of Joseph. And it's such a wonderful truth, and it's encouraging, and I want to share it with you. Joseph has some bad things happen to him. He goes through some ups and downs, but he has some real difficulties that happen. He's really treated poorly. Actually, this is initiated by his brothers. His own brothers treat him really badly. And so the story, it's a long story. It's worth reading. It's in at the end of the book of Genesis. Read it sometime. But again, there's these twists and turns, and he's up and then he's down. And ultimately what happens is towards the end of the story then, Joseph is back up on top. And he's in this position of great authority and power in Egypt, which is like the powerhouse country of the time. And Joseph's brothers end up having to come and sort of stand before him. They don't know it's Joseph at first. Again, there's all these twists and turns. It's really interesting, but they have to come and stand before him. And now Joseph has the upper hand. And then they find out it's him. And again, there's just, read the story. All these little twists and turns that happen. But it's while they're in front of Joseph and they kind of reconcile and Joseph tells them, no, it's okay. Joseph wants to kind of put their minds at ease because they really get nervous. They know they treated him poorly. They know that. And so Joseph says to them, hey guys, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says, hey guys, what you intended for harm, God intended for good. Isn't that great? I love that line. I love the truth there. These things that happen to bad things, difficult things, discouraging things, these things that happen to us, God can take it because He's God. He can take it and He can turn it around and use it for our good. He can do that. You say, well, how would He? I don't know. I don't know how He would do that. You say, you don't know my circumstances, Dan. You don't know. You're right. I don't. I don't know how He could do this in your circumstances, but I know He's God, and He's bigger than your problems. He really is. And He can take it and turn it around, whatever it is, and He can use it for your good. Don't let the discouragement win. Trust Him. You know what's interesting? Here I am trying to do a nice live broadcast, and these dogs in my house are going nuts, making all this racket. Things you can't control. But here's what we can control. We can turn to God. We can, with our free will, we can trust Him. I encourage you to do that. He cares about you. You can trust Him. He's faithful. I hear some dogs calling. You know what it is? It's their supper time, so they're trying to get my attention. So I'll go feed them. You go feed yourselves. We'll see you tomorrow.